Breath of the Wild is officially less than a week away from release, and the exciting thing today is that the preview embargo has lifted on the game. Reviewers were allowed to talk about their first 5 hours with the game, show 15 minutes worth of total footage, and were not allowed to talk about the story or show towns and certain items in the game, dungeons included. That doesn't mean we didn't learn a ton of new details, and currently it's impossible to watch any one single preview and get the full scope of all the new information. That's not surprising, since no two people are likely to experience the exact same things in the exact same order in a game like this. So today, I thought it would be nice to try and compile everything that seems to be new from these previews into one cohesive video. It should be noted that there will be world and gameplay spoilers ahead, and that we personally do not have a review copy of the game. As such, all outlets where the information was gained from will have links in the description below. Let's get started, shall we? Enemies can respawn in Breath of the Wild, but the game introduces a new mechanic that gives some semblance of a logical explanation for the event. That being the Blood Moon. When you clear out a camp or kill any enemy, they will remain dead until the night of the Blood Moon, which brings all enemies back to life. We aren't sure what the full explanation is for this event as of yet, but it does happen at least once every 5 hours of gameplay. But it doesn't happen every single night. Speaking of daytime, we did get a nice time lapse of a full day in Breath of the Wild. We know from last year that it does take roughly 24 minutes for a full day cycle, so this isn't exactly new, but it is the first time we've seen a full time lapse like this on the Switch. In a Q&A session for the game, Game Explains Andre pointed out that you can increase your hearts or your stamina meter once every 4 shrines are completed, and which one you increase is entirely up to the player. You can ride more than horses as well, as we have visual evidence of Link riding a deer, or well, attempting to ride a deer. Obviously, trying to tame one of these animals is going to be much more difficult than your average horse. Beyond that, we saw a new enemy appear that should be familiar to many Zelda veterans out there. And did you know that Link can pet dogs that react just like real dogs being petted? It's small touches like this that make Breath of the Wild really stand out. Cuckoos have returned, and you can use them to glide like in the past, though we aren't sure what happens if you attack them just yet. We also get a nice look at one of the coastlines in the game. Just sit back and enjoy. Moving on, we see a mini-game playout that causes a Korok to appear, with a seed as your reward, a type of mini-game that we haven't seen previously. We also get to see another Korok-related puzzle giving you a similar result, though it's pretty subtle. Heck, we see a third Korok puzzle as well, just for good measure. To top it off, why not another gorgeous look at the sunset with a new island in the distance? This game is truly a beauty. Speaking of such a beautiful thing, Breath of the Wild allows you to dye your clothing different colors. Personally, I'll be trying to make everything blue. Also, in case you needed a reminder, Guardians have an extremely long range. The boomerang makes a return in the game, but unlike prior Zelda games, you have to actually manually catch it when it returns. You can also strafe with your horse, and surprise, Poes have also returned as well. Oh, and if you were wondering, the TV mode for Breath of the Wild does have more frame rate drops than the handheld mode for the Switch. Make of that what you will. And that will wrap it up for all the various things we were able to spot from the copious amount of Breath of the Wild previews. Of course, with the sheer amount of previews that exist, there is a high chance that we probably missed out on a new enemy detail or gameplay mechanic somewhere along the way. So I encourage you to share anything that we might have missed in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you disliked it, you know what to do. Subscribe for more content from Nintendo Prime, and if you want, join our public Discord server, which is linked in the description below.